Welcome back to the season finale, the reunion episode. Yay! And today I'm here with the entire cast of the season 1 Intimacy with God. I'm so appreciative of having all these beautiful people come apart and be a part of the vision that God has gave me, and to everyone that has viewed and tuned in to every single episode. We appreciate you. And today I'm here with
Vaughn,
Maddie, Brittany,
Tammy, Ariel.
and today we're just going to be asking a few questions about their experience on the show, viewers' questions, and all that good stuff. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first question is, what did you think God wanted to do this season?
I feel like he just wanted to make me more aware of what was going on. I actually had just started getting that intimate with God when we recorded that, and that helped my process, because it was like, ooh, sis, you're not where you're supposed to be, but that's good. You need that reality check. So after that, I just got deep into God and, spending time with him, and it got good.
In this season, it was more so maturing more and taking him seriously. No more going back and forth, doing what I want to do, and then all right, I'm gonna read my Bible or I'm gonna go to church. It's no, taking him full throttle, going head first. That's really what it was.
I definitely relate to what both people just said. I think it was more like looking in the mirror for me, because you can't give what you don't have, essentially. So when God puts you in a place where you're pouring into people and giving advice, you have to give life, and you can't do that if you're really dead on the inside. Because even through that, I'm sure people are looking at you saying, oh, this person is doing this, wow, that's really challenging me. Some people may not even have spoken to you guys about it, but I'm sure it's still a seed that's being planted, and we are carrying that. So even that walk, even afterwards, not that you can't fall, but you're basically, some people are holding you accountable, essentially. So it's something serious, and I'm sure we all took it really serious. It's woo, all right.
I think this season definitely set the foundation, kind of what Tammy was saying, for people, because in this walk with God, intimacy is very important. You need it. So this being the opening season to the outlet, it's amazing, because it's definitely the foundation. It's the source. It's really connecting to God and assuring that you have a relationship with Him and that you're walking with Him, and everything else will come. Seek Him first, and all other things shall be.
Amen. Come on.
Hey.
Resonated.
This season, I feel like it was mainly a place where people could find answers and perspective from people that is around the age group. I know a lot of young people are watching this, and it's just something that they can really relate to. And I had people hitting me up wow, everything I was just praying about, I received the answers from him. So really the source of the answers. So that's why I feel it is being the source.
To God be the glory.
Yes, amen. So, if there's anything that you learned specifically about yourself or about anything else from your episode?
I learned to be more transparent. I didn't go into full detail about my testimony, but really God's been revealing to me that it will help someone else out of what they've been through. So to be transparent, to be genuine, and to be intimate with Him, but also intimate with others, and have that relationship to where I can bring other people out. So it's I've just been maturing from that. So now my testimony is continuing to change and grow.
I can piggyback off of what she's saying. I'm a transparent person, by nature. But in that video, I was watching it back you were not giving it your all, but it's cool. And I had to realize that it's some things that you can't say yet because you're not done going through it. So it's you can't prematurely share, stuff or your testimony because it's not done yet and you're not fully delivered. So I had to realize that because you can help people, it helps to see that somebody is in your predicament, but at the same time, if you're not done, you're not getting them anywhere either.
That's good.
I learned to walk more in like my knowledge. Like it's easy for us to share all these gems and all these good things, but are you actually living that life? Are you actually, you know, committing to it?
Right.
So just walking more in what I know, what's inside of me, actually allowing it to literally come out full force. So.
So the next question is, what was your most memorable part of your episode, or anybody else's episode? One thing that stuck out to you the most?
I think mine was when I was talking about love, fulfilling all the commandments. It really stuck out to me, and I also have to remind myself, because sometimes we find ourselves trying to fulfill, you know, each and every commandment, all these things, but we don't have love. And the Bible says if you don't have, you can have all these gifts, all these things, but if you have love, you have nothing. You don't know me if you don't know how to love.
Right.
So, and I sometimes struggle with that, actually showing love to people around me, doing things literally in love. The Bible says do everything in love. So.
That's good.
I think in all the episodes, one that I saw being resonated over and over again was like community was being emphasized. And that can be taken, you can't emphasize that enough, because it's so easy. We're in the midst of other people. Let's say you're solo. You're in the midst of other people that are not walking the same narrow path as you. It's so easy. I mean, you can mean well, and they may mean well, but because they're not in Christ, their knowledge it will forever be limited. So even if they mean well, they can sometimes be pulling you away from, I must say, quote unquote, the light. And it's easy it's kind of like planting a seed, hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Eventually you might go, well, maybe. It's going to, just divert. The Bible says we're 2 or 3 gathered. It doesn't say we're 1 is gathered. So it's always good to just be in the midst of like believers, real believers, not believers who are going to condemn you for what you've been through, what your past is, essentially people that can really pull you up. So, and to me that meant a lot, because I have sort of ostracized myself from even my sisters that I grew up with, you know, in the church and things like that, because I'm like, whatever I've done, they look at me like, oh, you know, she probably didn't do this, but like, God knows. But that shame of, you know, not wanting to share your testimony, even with Christian believers, like knowing it's a weapon of the enemy, essentially. There's nothing new under the sun, my mom always says. So there's nothing that we've gone through or done as young adults or even as adults that, you know, God cannot forgive. There's no sin that's too great, and that's weapon of the enemy to believe that what we're going through is unique to just us, and it's like, dare not say that out loud. So
That's so good.
I really do feel like everyone covered around the same topics of what you would need as
Not knowing
a Christian.
it.
And I was thinking that as I was going through each episode, like everybody said community, everyone said that you need godly counsel, being intentional, in regards to like prayer, exactly, right. When you said that actually like really stuck with me. Like I was thinking about that for a while, like being intentional with my walk with God and not just forcing it or making it a routine, because I remember that you said that.
It's how when you like someone, when you want to pursue someone, there's a lot of things that you do. It's the same thing with God. If you want God, you ought to have Him.
Right. The question is, what season in your life are you currently in? Okay.
I don't even fully really know, because I feel like I'm in a transition right now. But I was talking to you guys about this, I think, earlier. I feel like I'm just in a season of like being able to clap for other people, like knowing when it's not my time, and knowing how to appreciate the other people around me and how they're growing and how, you know, they're using their gifts and how everything is forming like around them, and just being like present, like there for them, and not necessarily for me right now. Like building relationship, community, all of that, but godly community. So,
And that actually takes a lot to actually admit to saying that, because sometimes we want things, and when we see other people have it, it's like, well, when is it going to be my turn? I really just want us to congratulate, and some people really need that support. So if you can give that without wondering when is my turn, then your blessings is going to be way more than what you expected.
Again, I feel like I'm in a season of walking in wholeness. I feel like I went through like all the healing and all of that stuff, cutting things out, the pruning and all that stuff. But now it's just carrying out my deliverance. Because if you don't carry it out, if you don't intentionally wake up and say, this is what, if you don't have a plan, you'll go backwards. You'll fall again, or you'll fall into the same cycle. So when it comes to relationships, all of that, I'm finally in a place where I'm free from all of that. I'm really focused on myself and my purpose, and again, just walking in that and everything that God wants me to do. So just focus.
I can't really put it into words, but well, I can put it into words. I can't pinpoint a word. It's like more so me maturing and knowing the word, like reading more, so I can become more knowledgeable of like how I worship, how I praise, what I speak into people. Because you can say like the fun facts, or you can say pinpoint scriptures, but don't know the context of it.
Right.
So more so it's me learning and maturing in the word, and also being transparent with myself and telling my story and saying like, okay, it's okay to fall, but get back up. Like you don't want to go in a cycle, just continue to go to God. So that's kind of like where I'm at.
That's good.
I'll say that as well. Like expanding my knowledge on the word. Also waiting on the Lord. I feel like this season is really, you know, just waiting, just having building my faith in that sense where I don't want to stray on what He promised me, or you know, because we can get so, you know, so quickly on our own flesh and like just want to do our own will and not follow God's will. So I'm really just trying to stay patient on Him and just wait for things to go in the right order that He placed it to be, and not just worry. You know, we can't pray and worry, because then we're praying without faith and it's not going to bear fruit. So yeah, that's really the season I'm in. You know, just working on myself in this season as well. So yeah, so like how Matty said, like focus on what I want to do, as far as like school and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
That's good.
That was amazing.
I think you said intentional, some said intentional, waiting on God. The season, I guess we can say season I'm currently in. I remember when we're talking about this right now, the first thing that came to mind was right after the retreat, when that Sunday we were in church. I remember we were praying and someone said, like, that promotion you want, you got it, and things like that. You go to work the next day and kind of like, you know, I think it was Monday, was that promotion happening? But being intentional, waiting on God, for example, and just walking in it like you already have it, essentially. Because there's a lot of things I pray to God for, but we talk, I don't know if it was at our episode when we talk about the microgeneration, we want it instantly. So I just kept on hearing God say, just, you already got it. Just keep grinding like you have it, you know. If you want to be the boss, be the boss. Essentially, not like before I used to think to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to tell them what to do. No, we peers, we're still co-workers, you know, same pay level, I don't know. But then I got the promotion last week. No indication, as in even the person, my manager herself, you know, or my manager's manager, I didn't really get the sense of like something is changing. And you know, you leave work, sometimes you're put in 110% and like nothing is changing. Like, what was this degree for? For what? You know, this money you're paying is not cutting it. It's not paying for my loans or, you know, my daily expenses. But just praying by saying, when is it going to be my time, essentially? You know, God came through and it was unexpected. It's still not exactly what I want, but I know great is in store, because, you know, when the Bible talks about if your parents who love you, more sinners can give you this.
How much more do you think your Heavenly Father can give you?
So I know it's a stepping stone to greater things, but I also know God will test me. And I know when we were praying that prayer, I was so fervent, like yes, 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 yes. After a week, it's kind of weaning off. But then just be intentional, just waiting on God and just knowing that whatever it is coming through. Even with school, you know, I was never the best student, by the way. Especially when you come from a home with people that siblings are like geniuses, kind of like, well, okay. My GPA was not the best. I was like, I'm never going to get into grad school. It's not going to happen. And people are getting to grad schools, your mates, they're advancing, getting into medical school, you're like, what am I doing with my life, essentially? And then I remember I said, God, if I get into this, I will serve you like never before. I got into it, I was kind of like, like you take for granted, like you don't know the effort, the promises, the prayers you prayed before you got something, essentially. And when it comes kind of like, I knew it. Like, I did that.
Right.
No, I did it.
And that's why sometimes God has to even put you through some fire, just so you know when you get there, you're gonna know who got you there.
I turned out of this. I brought you into this.
Yes.
And by my own will. So even I have to continue and tell myself just to be intentional. You know, the pact we made, because easily as it was given, it can be taken away. And I don't want God to be the one to humble me, essentially. Because
He
will humble you. I don't think I'm ready for that. He will. Continue waiting on God, continue being intentional, and the promises I made, don't fall back on it, essentially. So
That's good.
speak.
Praise God. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's so good.
God does not withhold His promises.
Right. He
They
sure
always come to
doesn't.
pass.
kind of why, yep.
What's next for you guys? What's the next thing that you're hoping for? What's the next thing that you're praying for? Or what's the next thing that you believe God is going to do in your life?
Okay, I was gonna say the next thing for me is my clothing line is gonna be dropping very I have the first shirt on right now, but this is not the first shirt. This is from the old line, but dropping soon with my brother, and to start like an on-campus link, like because the comments that I received from doing the video, it was a lot of people really like relating to me, like, and people who didn't know I was Christian.
Yeah.
And it was all these conversations. I'm like, wow, well, I need to put myself out there. Well, I need to show that I'm a follower of Christ, because all my followers, all they see is everything else. So it's like I need to put myself out there and on campus, show my face more, just really preach what I'm learning, preach the gospel and the love of Jesus Christ, because that's what I'm here for. So yeah, that's like my next steps. That's what God's been telling me, to not be shy anymore, to step out there and really get more people into His kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I mean, not the shirts, but you know. I'm doing other things. I really don't know. I'm still praying about that. But God is basically just telling me to tell everybody about Him. Like, and show Him through, like, who I am, what I do, everything I post. Like, and people are seeing it slowly, like, through the videos and through the posts, but, like, living it. Like Maddie was saying before, like, it's an everyday thing, and people see it. They might not say something in that moment, but everybody, they're always watching. People are always watching you, and it's like not necessarily to like watch you mess up or watch you make a mistake, but you're an example.
Right.
And now they, like I said in the video before, like they know who you serve, so you can't be out here acting crazy.
Right.
Period.
I think that like what's next for me is, again, I want people to see the Jesus in me, so I'm going into ministry mode. And ministry doesn't stop. It's not something that when you're in church and when you're on stage and you know, it's not, it's literally everywhere. It's on your social media. It's when you're at Dunkin' Donuts getting coffee, you know, like ministry doesn't stop. So I think that's where I'm at. Just moving in that. And then of course, we have an event coming up in August. These two ladies are actually a part of it. It's called The Power of Her Testimony. So I think by then, by the time this drops, they would see. So yeah, The Power of Her Testimony.
7 different backgrounds, different struggles, different stories, different smiles, but one God, the same God that saved us all. Women who overcame by the word of their testimony. We are here to share His love, His word, and His truth. His love that set us free, His word that keeps us free, and His truth that wants to set you free. Depression, anxiety, shame, lust, jealousy, bitterness, self-hate no longer lives here.
God really has me there. So.
Yeah. That's good.
What's next for me is being more into like my worship ministry with Team Brand New, her brother. He the leader and everything. So but with Team Brand New, so we're gonna be doing like more events. We're gonna be doing an event in the end of this month in Newark. We also have a Reformer Conference with Yolanda Stiff and Chris Petrott at a resting place in August. That's gonna be really dope. And what I'm really praying on is getting accepted to Montclair State University. Going there and starting
You will. In the name of Jesus.
And going there and starting like my own like all-men Christian group. And just, you know, starting finding the young men there. Because I know it's probably some believers that just need an outlet. Yeah, and grow them right. So yeah.
That's amazing. I think I want to sort of, like, you know, in the video you said initially that we gave the testimony, but some of us weren't beaten to detail. I think that was me. Shying away from the fact that like, oh, you know, I don't really know these people. Or I really want to put myself out there. You know, my church members can possibly see that. I didn't even know that, you know, some members of my church were going to be like, oh, yeah, I saw that video you read. Because they check and they watching. You know, the aunties are always
You're on it.
making sure. So just being very honest, I really feel like my testimony can help, even if just one person. I'll be very happy because there are lots of, I guess, hidden sins or some things that I've dabbled in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. I'm sure my parents, if they ever still be broken, like, oh my goodness, our daughter, and she looks so, and she does, and we can't believe this. But I was really living double life essentially. So being really, because God has delivered me from it, so no one can put me down for what I've done. Essentially. But easier said than done, because a part of us is still, a part of me is still like, that's the internet, it's there forever. But just being confident enough to share that with people. I do not want other young people, even people, believers too, because I knew the truth and I purposely, intentionally did what I wanted to do. To not go the same way I went, essentially. It's not
Your testimony is someone else's breakthrough.
Yes.
Just to
Can I
add to what
plug?
she
I'm sorry, can I plug one thing?
Yeah.
I forgot A-Life Kane is coming back, so we lit.
Oh yeah, A-Life Kane.
It's exciting, and I think I'm gonna be one of the leaders for that. So like what Nana said, like with ministry, just getting in that posture with God and being
That
ready
posture,
for whatever He has for us. So
She was saying, being transparent, but also like, I got a lot of comments about, do you have to be perfect? And it's like, to say this right now, I am not perfect.
none of us
I've been through so many things. I haven't shared my story in detail, but I really will soon, because I know a lot of people think you have to have everything together, or think we have it together right now because we're speaking good things. But trust me, like, it's not all. We go through too, day by day, but it's also
Daily walk,
it's a daily walk. But also staying strong and having faith and believing is what's keeping us. So that's what I want to say. We're not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Just
I have a plug into that. We're leaning on God's strength. We're not perfect, but we serve a perfect Savior.
Yes, we do.
So that's the only difference. We go through the same things, but things like anxiety and depression and lust, all of those things, the difference is that it literally doesn't live with us. It comes, but it goes because of who we serve, because of who we have. Greater is He who is in us than He who is in the world. So.
That's good. And I wanted to add on to what Tammy said, and when you were speaking about being intentional and not being shameful of your past and your testimony. Actually today someone just wrote me, someone that I've been friends with for years, and out of nowhere she hit me up, and I think we were speaking about it the other day, Ariel, about God would send back people in your life that, and they would come back around, and it's just like a 360. So she's been watching me for a while now, basically, and I'm not following her on social media. We have no contact. She wrote me, and she actually broke down in a message. Me being bold enough to share about, I think 2 weeks ago, I shared a post. PT thing is not in the Bible per se, and that message actually brought thousands of feedback, which I expected. I didn't expect not to hear anything back from it. That I was bold enough to share it, and she saw it, and she's someone that's been battling between continuing on with that route or just confessing and knowing that that's not right, and walking through that. And at first I really wasn't going to share it because I just know how sensitive that topic is, and if you don't go about it the right way, it can either push people away from God or it can bring them closer to Him. So she brought that up, and she's speaking to me about it, and immediately I just thought about what if I didn't even share it? She wouldn't even have came to me and asked me how did I start this walk, and now she's wanting to be a Christian. So it's just wow.